Hey friends, I'm back for another chat about bariatric surgery. But first, I wanted to show you, the other day I was kind of showing you the last little things that I had to clear up for my blepharoplasty and facelift surgery. But what I forgot to show you was my eyes. So how this was the eye that didn't cause a lot of trouble, and for the most part, that's pretty much healed. This is the bad one. I don't know if you remember, if you go back and look at some of my other videos, that was really gapped right there. And now on its own, it's pretty much almost where it needs to be. Like I can really make it, you know, look bad, but for the most part, it's almost there. So this will be February 13th will mark my 3 months, or it's actually 13 weeks and 1 day. So whatever you want to call it, 3 months, 13 weeks. But anyways, I probably will be going back to see him soon, but I just wanted to get that out of the way. So back to the bariatric surgery. So I left off with waking up in recovery, and for me, I didn't have much pain at all except for when I woke up. And what that was from was the air that they fill you up with in order to do the surgery so they can get around. You know, I had 4 holes for the camera, the whatever they do to cut the stomach, you know, and I don't know what they use them all for. Honestly, you could have had it to where you only had 2 holes. That would have cost a little bit more because it's a little bit harder to do and probably takes longer, but I didn't care about any of that. So anyways, for me, what that pain felt like was that somebody had like a belt or something around my rib cage and was pulling it really tight, and it was basically just the residual air that they had to blow you up with in order to do the surgery, and it doesn't really dissipate until you get up and start walking. So after surgery, the first couple hours I threw up probably 2 or 3 times, and that was probably from the blood that was in my stomach from the surgery. Now I said in the last one that the surgery I had is where they cut 80% of your stomach out. So as that happens, what they're using is they call it a stapler, I think. And so as they're cutting, it's it's burning the skin together as well as stapling the stomach, the remaining stomach shut. And, you know, you can look that up online to see how it works. But anyway, so you are left with staples in your stomach, and your stomach is cut down to the size of a banana. So when you start eating again, it's like you're a newborn baby, like you're starting all over from scratch. So I just pulled out my folder. They send you home with a bunch of paperwork. You see a nutritionist before you leave, and you can answer, and she'll answer any questions for you. She'll go over like the do's and don'ts, what you need to do. Being a bariatric patient, your stomach doesn't absorb as much of the vitamins and minerals of your food as it did when prior to surgery, basically. And so you have to actually add in extra things like protein and vitamin supplements. I eventually started wearing a patch because in the beginning I couldn't take all the supplements, all the pills and stuff. It was just too much for me. And you can't eat much right away. So um, eh, you get home, and the first thing they tell you for you're still on a liquid diet from like day 1 to 3 after you return home, and that's going to include like Gatorade, Powerade, any kind of electrolytes, which you basically need to stay hydrated. Apple juice if it's diluted, because you know apple juice can be kind of hard on a stomach. Um, you can have any kind of meat broth, like beef, chicken, fish broth, vegetable broth if you're a vegetarian, Jello, popsicles, chamomile tea. So basically just clear stuff. And your portion size, the first month is 1/4 to 1/2 cup. Once you hit 3 months to 6 months, you can go from 1/2 cup up to a cup. And then from 12 months on, you're not really supposed to eat any more than 1 cup at a time at any given meal. So that's probably to keep from stretching your stomach back out. as well as your stomach is only the size of a banana. So when you overeat, you can really feel it, and it sometimes feels like you're, I don't know what having a heart attack feels like, but that's what they compare it to. So like from here to here, like where a woman's bra would sit, that's where you're going to feel the pressure from the food that you've eaten, and it hurts really bad. You just sit and hold your chest when you know that you've overeaten. So that's not in the beginning though. You don't really want to eat that much food in the beginning. So once you get past the clear liquid stage, then it goes to full liquid diet, and then you can start your protein shakes. So you really should live on protein, whether it's powder protein in like a shake or a smoothie, or I buy the Fairlife chocolate shakes. My favorite was the caramel, but they quit making them. I would drink it with coffee, cold coffee. And that would include like your almond milk. You could have like light Greek yogurt, vegetable juices, cream of vegetable soups, and liquid oatmeal. Um, and then you're supposed to start adding in your protein at that point. And water, you're supposed to drink water or liquids constantly, like your Gatorade or Powerade or whatever, or water, and you're supposed to sip it all day long. And that's because you can't just guzzle like you used to. You can eventually, as time goes on, but in the beginning you can't. So then from there you move into in the phase 2 as well, which is the full liquid. You then are supposed to start your supplements. And it's important because you can suffer hair loss. I used to suffer a lot of hair loss. It never was enough to where you could tell, someone else could tell, but in the shower and when I washed my hair and combed it out, I lost a lot of hair. But it does come back, and I took a lot of biotin. Then there's the puree diet, which is like day 11 to 17. And then you can start having like egg whites, cottage cheese. Eggs was really hard for me to get down in the beginning, but it did get better. And then you could start putting in like ground meat. Like you could cook some ground burger and, kind of mush it up. It could be kind of solid, but, and then there's the puree stage, which is where, you can like blend up the cottage cheese, which kind of seems like it should be. Well, phase 3 is puree. So I guess the ground beef or turkey, you would actually have to be liquefying. And then eventually, you can move on to other things. When you start eating meat, you're supposed to eat really little bits and chew it very well. Um, you're advised to not use a straw, no more carbonation drinks. And they don't really want you to chew ice. Ice is good for nausea in the beginning, but the act of chewing ice or chewing gum um, can cause your stomach to build up gas, which is very painful. So anyways, and then it goes to a soft diet. The soft diet is more like mozzarella cheese, cups of cooked vegetables. They still want you to avoid like dates, bananas, raisins, artichokes, beets, things like that for a while until you get into just a free diet, normal diet. So soft diet is like day 25 to 55, and then you're eating like omelets and things like that. And then a normal diet is literally like 2 to 3 months, and your calories at that point should only be like 800 calories, 60 grams of carbs and 26 grams of fat. And then an actual normal diet, you don't start until like 4 to 6 months, and that's 900 calories. And then your last phase of normal diet is 6 to 12, and that's 1,000 calories. So you're really not supposed to be eating more than 1,000 calories, although we do. I haven't gained any back, but I think if I were to stay to the 1,000 or 1,200 calories and watched what I ate, and ate the good stuff, then I probably wouldn't have a problem with still losing. So I'm almost out of time, so good Lord willing, I will see you guys tomorrow or the next day with another segment on bariatric surgery. Bye.